March 25, 2024 All-in Institute Gem. Raise the flag of Bitcoin Maximalism. This is very important. Something very meaningful. Why does everyone support this? What about Bitcoin Maximalism? Because in the future, only Bitcoin can replace gold. In the midst of a deep global debt crisis, play a basic liquidity role. Is that why Elastos BL2? The reason for developing BTC Oracle, something that keeps Bitcoins off the main chain, proof by zero knowledge. Get involved in smart contracts like those on Ethereum. It means the future of Bitcoin on the main chain. Although there are no smart contracts, but it can be done through Bitcoin prophecy machines, BTC Oracle, to rule all EVM smart contracts, because we believe the future of Bitcoin must be the basis for a global consensus. Why do you say that? Because of Ridalio's book. The debt crisis makes that clear. The world's biggest war crisis is basically 100 years old. So the last round of global debt crisis, it was the Great Depression of 1929. Suddenly, the global economy was deprived of liquidity. Because the theory is straightforward. For example, the stock market is failing. Stock market crash. And the housing market, wait, then people won't dare to borrow money. People can't pay back the money they borrowed. The scariest thing is not to say, I can't pay my old debt. The scariest thing is, now people are afraid to borrow money. Because all the assets are collapsing, are shrinking. What do we borrow against? How to guarantee it can continue to appreciate in the future? Therefore, the scariest thing about the debt crisis, afraid to borrow new money. So the market seems to be out of money. The global market economy lacks liquidity. Then the banks are useless, because banks lend money. Central banks have faced financial crises before, or excessive monetary data easing. So-called quantitative easing won't work anymore. Central banks certainly borrow money on a massive scale. No one borrowed money. I can't get it out. The world is in this debt crisis. Final result. It's in Ridalio's book, The Debt Crisis. And ended up in a world war. Because of this global conflict. Contradictions between countries. The contradiction between nations. Populism is on the rise. No longer traditional banks, courts, including quantitative easing, can be solved. Only by the most unusual means of violence. In the end, they beat the world to pieces. In the process, many countries go to zero. It's called the worst debt crisis of all. It is exactly 100 years since 1929. So according to Ridalio's theory, the big cycle is coming again. Now the world is once again in the grip of a debt crisis. Several wars now, including possible future wars. Stock market and housing market, they are also shrinking dramatically. Then the market is illiquid. Everybody's out of money. This economic boom will not be in. This is a problem. China just exploded blossoms a few months ago. People are nostalgic for the 1980s and 1990s. That market is highly developed. A time when everyone could get rich. Now it looks like it won't recover anytime soon. So what about the future? It was the Bretton Woods system. It's the dollar riveting gold. Re-inject liquidity into the world. Many people get the wrong idea. Think the dollar saved the world. On first principles, this is wrong. Because essentially, gold saved the world. But Ridalio's idea, only gold is a hard currency. Because it is the native consensus in the market. No matter if the two countries go to war against each other, again, the consensus on gold cannot be broken. History just proves. The more the disaster of war occurs, gold is on the rise. Continue for humanity, for global trade. The most precious underlying liquidity. 71 years later, the dollar is no longer fixed in gold. The result is so many years. The dollar has lost 26 times its value against gold. So paper money is the last thing that holds its value. the worst way to protect our wealth. So the future of global trade mobility can only be pinned on things like Bitcoin. Some hard currencies like gold, of course. Can gold be revived for the second time in history? It's the new Bretton Woods. Can you rivet gold again? Providing liquidity to the world. That now seems unlikely, because the world has entered information internet era. The speed of global trade now. It's nothing like the 1940s. Present global, online transactions are done in seconds. Logistics is 24 hours, by the hour. So in the internet age, of course, Bitcoin is supposed to replace gold. Bitcoin is now worth just over $1 trillion. And gold played a major role in the world. It's been in the trillions of dollars. So Bitcoin wants to take on a global mission. There's still plenty of room to go up, but whether it's the exchange or the business model, or mining or something, could be really rich, always on. Almost all of them are Bitcoin projects. Every bull market. Dozens of times the last bear market. The others are so exquisitely designed. Dozens of smart contract projects. So that investors can only win and lose. Coins can only go up and not down. It turned out not to be true, those games. One group has to cut the other's leaks. Only Bitcoin makes everyone rich. This has become an irrefutable truth. We are facing a completely new era in the future. It's the age of Bitcoin Maximalism. Hopefully under the banner of Bitcoin Maximalism, we have made great progress towards a real fortune, prosperous economy, promote the development of human civilization. Grand Road. Bitcoin Maximalism launched. Elastos. Olin Institute. Bitsat. Remeasure Bitcoin with SAT. Master the 24-hour wealth code. Let us slowly become SAT together.